Got another aluminum project today. It's a hydraulic tank off of a township truck. So this is a dump truck that bounces up and down crappy roads and plows snow in the winter. And they have tire chains for it, so it gets a lot of vibration, and it has failed. So let's take a look. So we have it upside down right now. This tank has a vented cap, so it does not hold pressure. But the bottom of it has split, and it was leaking oil everywhere. So they had their buddy down the road, Billy Joe Bob, try to weld it. And of course, it didn't work at all, and it continues to leak, so they called me. So the real fun about a job like this is dealing with whatever anybody else has already done on top of the oil that's saturated everywhere. So this is hydraulic oil. So the very unlikely that it's going to explode because it's hydraulic oil. Now it could catch on fire, so we're going to clean this up a little bit, and we're not going to use brake clean. And everybody wants to grab the can of brake clean and really clean this up. Just hose it down with some brake clean, but brake clean will blow up. We're not going to do that. Use something citrus based probably. So I'm going to clean it up, do a little grinding, and I'm going to fix it with a spool gun just because that might be all you have to work with. And I think I'm going to use some aluminum angle to kind of beef this thing up, because this thing failed due to vibration. That's what killed it to start with, so I'm going to try to beef it up a little bit, which may or may not help, but it's going to make me feel better. I can tell somebody tried to do this last time with a spool gun and it didn't work. And it's hard to weld through oil with a spool gun. And I can see they were too cold. They started too cold. Maybe they didn't have enough power to start with, but they for sure didn't use a preheat. And that's what you have to do on an aluminum tank that has to hold liquid, because your spool gun doesn't have enough power when it first starts. Because if you did have it set that high, it would just blow through as you started, so you have to use a preheat. Got all that junk ground off of there. I got rid of the diamond plate profile. Kind of scuffed this up with the grinding wheel, got rid of the oxide layer. This is not for looks. This is the bottom of an oil tank on a dump truck. It just has to hold oil and not break. I can see here, I want to get a little bit more of that out of there. Because like you're welding along here, and you're going to hit that oxide right there, so I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, take a look at this tack. It was no preheat, and you can see there where it started, that's a guaranteed leak. So you can see the difference between the preheat and no preheat. The preheated weld there will probably hold fluid right at the beginning, and I guarantee you the first one there on the left is going to leak. So after I got started, you get the heat build up in the part, and you can just keep rolling. So if you're lucky and nothing messes up on you, you only have to preheat to get started, and then you can just keep going. While that's cooling off, you can look at the welder. I'm running it as hard as I can. Well, see there, I messed up. I've got it set for 030 wire diameter. That's where I should have been. So you can see I was a little bit off. I was in the ballpark though. The only reason it worked was I'm maxed out. So maxed out on 030, still worked with 035. If you can, use 035 wire in a spool gun. I'm running 4043 on this job. 035. The 035 will help you prevent bird's nests. But it was welding it seemed like it was just a shade cold, and that's why, because I was just a shade cold.